All Latin nouns are arranged into 5 declensions. These declensions determine which endings each noun will have for their different cases. In this video, I will cover the first declension. The first declension is almost entirely composed of feminine nouns. The only exceptions are male professions, which are masculine but first declension nouns, such as poeta or agricola. There are no neuter first declension nouns, unlike the declensions to come. Here is the ending chart for first declension nouns. You may notice that some endings are the same here, which is a little confusing, so we'll talk about it for a bit. When you look at the chart for the first declension, there seems to be a lot of similarity. First, the nominative singular and the ablative singular seem to be identical. Fortunately, the macron over the ablative singular's a is a giveaway. A first declension noun with a long a, one with a macron, will always be ablative. Conversely, a first declension noun with a short a will always be nominative. But what will we do in the case of endings with the ae diphthong? You will determine the case a noun is in by using the context of the sentence to make an educated guess about the noun's case and translation. Let's go through a couple examples to illustrate this point. Puella amat mensam pueri. What case is puella? This one is kind of a gimme. There's only one possibility, since we know that puella is a first declension noun. Amat has a singular third person ending, giving further evidence that puella is the sentence's subject. Pueri cannot be the subject because the verb is singular, and mensam has to be the object of the verb because of its accusative ending. Thus, we get, the girl loves the table of the boy. Let's try something harder. Puer amat mensam puellae. Is puellae nominative plural, genitive singular, or dative singular? When a noun could have multiple translations, we must use the context of the sentence, as well as other clues to figure it out. First, we look at the verb. The ending is singular. Therefore, puellae cannot be nominative plural. The ending of the verb would have to be plural to match it. So is puellae genitive singular or dative singular? Well, here it's going to be an educated guess. Does the translation, the boy loves the table for the girl, make sense? Well, maybe, in the context of some strange rom-com, but it makes more sense that the table belongs to the girl. Therefore, we get, the boy loves the table of the girl. Puellae mensam amant pueri. Here we have the same ending for puellae, but now the verb's ending is plural, so there's a possibility that the girls could be the subject. But wait, because pueri could be the nominative plural too, it seems that the sentence could either be the girls love the table of the boy, or the boys love the table of the girl. Here is where my nonsensical sentences reveal their weakness. Without context, it's impossible here to determine how puellae function in this sentence. A good guess might be, the girls love the table of the boy. Dat puer mensam puellae. When a verb of giving comes up, like do, dare, to give, often there will be a dative noun in the sentence. This is our indirect object, that is, whatever thing that is receiving the object being given. So, while puellae could be genitive singular in this context, it makes more sense that the boy is giving the table to the girl. Okay, so how do we form first declension nouns of our very own? To form any noun, also known as to decline a noun, first, you find the genitive singular ending of your noun. For first declension nouns, this will always be ae. Next, you remove the genitive singular ending, ae, and this gives you your stem. For ir, this is ir. To this stem, you add the proper ending, and this is how the process of declining a noun goes. Some declensions share endings with others, such as the is endings of the ablative and dative plural cases for both the first and second declensions. But each declension's genitive singular ending is unique. Let's decline a couple first declension nouns and sentences and wrap it up. Our first sentence is, the goddess loves homes. I'll put the vocabulary for what we're working with in the top right. The subject, or doer, of the sentence is the goddess, so it will be in the nominative case. Because the subject is third person singular, so too will be the verb. Finally, the homes are the object of the sentence, so they will be in the accusative. Therefore, we get, Deia amat vias. The girls give tables to the god. The girls are the ones doing the action here. They're giving the tables, so they'll be in the nominative case. The tables are the things being given, so they'll be in the accusative case. and the god is the one receiving the tables, so the god will be the indirect object, and therefore will be in the dative case. So, using the process of declining nouns that we went over earlier, we get Puellum dant mensas Deo. If you don't know how to decline second declension nouns yet, that's totally fine. Or, if you don't know yet how to conjugate a verb, that's also totally fine. I'll be covering both of those subjects in later videos. One final note is that occasionally the Romans modified their endings for the first declension. This was rare, but it's worth bringing up, because both the first declension and second declension have the "is" endings for the ablative and dative plural cases. Common words with the same stem could look identical. If you saw deis, it would be impossible to tell whether that word meant gods or goddesses. So, they modified the endings in the first declension. The ablative and dative plural of dea, dei became deabus, so that the Romans could determine the difference for those cases. There are other occasional changes for poetic effect or simply strange linguistic reasons, but because this is an introductory lesson, in the interest of time I will leave those changes in the description below. Thanks for watching, and leave any questions you still have below.